Hey, what is going on guys, this is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at a battle between Aragorn, King of Men, and High King Gil-Galad. So hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so as you guys can see, Maestro, who is a really good player from Honor, who I mentioned in a previous video, he sent me a bunch of reports at my request that I could have a look at, and I've decided to cover this one against Gil-Galad. So obviously he is using his Aragorn King of Men, and he's versing Gil-Galad. Just an interesting fact, by the way, did you know Aragorn died at the age of 210? And you know, Gil-Galad, well, he was the High King of the Noldor, obviously, but he also possessed the Elven Ring Narya. So that's just some pretty cool facts in case you guys didn't know that. Anyway, let's have a look at these two superb commanders. So we have Maestro from Kiseg against Lobanin from KWSN. I actually played with Lobanin last season, so I do know him, and his Gil-Galad, I'm pretty sure that season was undefeated. But let's have a look at the troops, the equipment, and the skills that each of these commanders are using before we go and have a look at the actual report. So if we have a look at Maestro's Aragorn, we can see that he's got a fully strengthened unique. So he's got Anduril, and Anduril is got plus 51 might and plus 6 HP for men. And Kingly Inspiration, all men upon dealing damage, there's a 50% chance of damage dealt plus 1% until the end of battle, and that can stack 20 times. For a chest piece, he has fully refined quilted armor, so that gives plus 30 might, plus 12 focus, plus 18 speed, and he has focus protection, so all allies focus damage received minus 60%, which won't really help, I don't think. Yeah, this Gil-Galad is not using keepers, so that's not really going to do anything. He has a full helm, which gives plus 45 might, fully refined, so it has allied melee units, damage received minus 6%. Then he has a fully strengthened Entrod Calabash, which gives plus 30 might and plus 6 army HP. It's only got 2 stars refined, but that is Bane of Giants against large unit, damage dealt plus 9%. Obviously that is not going to make a difference because there's no large units in the Gil-Galad army, so the effect on the quilted armor and the effect on the Entrod Calabash will not be helpful for this battle. In terms of skills, let's see what he's using. So he's got 15 points into Anduril, which is against 2 enemy targets, deals 300% physical damage, and the max level effect is it gives 15 extra might. He's got weapons expertise. Commander has a 50% chance of gaining damage plus 50%. Then he's got 14 out of 15 points in Strider, which is base stats from equipment plus 28%. And the max level effect of that would have been ignores the race restrictions of all equipment, though obviously it's only 14 out of 15, so the max level effect doesn't come into play. In terms of his sub skills, he's using Precise Blow. Against one enemy unit, deals 280% physical damage once. This damage carries the Pursuit effect, so that is going to ignore any avoidance that Gil-Galad does have. Raid Rush, which means that it will activate on the first round. Yep, and then again it will activate on the third round. Against one enemy unit, deals 240% physical damage once, and there's a 50% chance to reactivate and deal another 240%. Then he has King of Men, which is 15 out of 15. First 5 rounds, men, when affected by Stun or Madness, damage received minus 90%. Max level effect, buff persists for entire battle. Okay, so that is really great, but I don't think it's going to help against... Actually, it may help against Gil, yeah, because Gil does have a few stun abilities. And then lastly, he's using Return of the King. Round 5 onwards, Aragorn 2, damage plus 70%. Okay, so that is the equipment as well as the skills being used by Maestro on his Aragorn King of Men. And let's have a look at the troops. So he's got literally 7,900 Tower Guards, or Guard of the Tower, and he's got all their skills maxed out as well. That gives him against mounted units damage plus 30% and damage received minus 20%. Doesn't come into play obviously because he's not going up against mounted units. Then he's got a 50% chance of physical damage received minus 20%, so that's going to help out. And he has Divide and Conquer. Each round damage received minus 6% can stack 5 times. Then he's got Men, so Mana Speed. That's plus 10% for army speed, and that's just because this is an elite 3 unit, so that just increases his army speed. Now we're going to have a look at Lobanin's Gil-Galad. So obviously there's a 2-level disparity here, but 2 levels is not really that much of a difference, though maybe those 2 extra points would have helped just a little bit more, but it would not have significantly changed the outcome. I do know Aragorn is a damage commander, Gil-Galad is an army buff commander, and normally damage commanders tend to do pretty good against army buff commanders, but I'll probably be doing another video where I show off the Aragorn King of Men against another damage commander like either Gimli or Dane or something like that. Anyway, let's have a look at his gear. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to say that the gear on the Gil-Galad is much better because he's got fully strengthened and fully refined gold gear for 3 items. Well, except for this one, it's not fully refined. While, let's see, I mean, this is a fully strengthened unique, but it's not got any refining on it. And the Entra Calabash is only refined twice, and the other 2 pieces are purple. But in terms of gear-wise, they're both pretty similar, so let's have a look at this. He's got the Elven White Knife, fully strengthened, and 3-star refined. This gives his commander plus 36 might and plus 6 attack to elves. Okay, so that's really good. Might of elves, allied units damage dealt plus 8%, so yep, and he's using 2 elvish units obviously on his Gil-Galad, so everything here is going to affect the units he's using. Next he has High Elf Hauberk, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but that gives your commander plus 36 might, plus 18 focus, and plus 12 speed. Next, it's going to be giving your army defense to elves, plus 15, and it gives resistance because it's fully refined, and that is all allies burn, poison, and focus damage received minus 30%. So I don't think that is going to help in any way because there's no focus, burn, or poison damage coming in from the Aragorn. It's only physical, so that is a waste in this fight. Though obviously it's great against evil or Galadriels, etc. Next he has Hunter's Guide, which gives plus 27 might, plus 27 focus, and plus 3 army attack to ranged. So that gives his archers plus 9 army attack in total, 6 from the Elven White Knife and 3 from the Hunter's Guide. And it also gives his heralds plus 6 attack from the White Knife, though they're obviously not affected by the attack from the Hunter's Guide. And he has the best effect possible on this. He's got Aegis. First 4 rounds, each army, each round, 100% chance to gain stun, immunity, and madness immunity. So for the first 4 rounds, his entire army is stun and madness immune. Finally, he's got a Harp of Lothlorien, which gives plus 36 focus, plus 15 speed to elves, and Hunter's Mark. First 3 rounds, all allied units and commander each round has a 90% chance to gain pursuit. That's not really going to help out much in this fight because I don't think Aragorn 2 has any sort of avoidance, but still, that is a great effect to have, especially in a mirror match against another Gil-Galad. Now let's have a look at his talents. So, he's got Icicle, he's got 2 points in there. Against 2 enemy units, deals 20% physical damage once and inflicts stun for 1 round. And that is the main reason he's got the points here. It's to get that stun for 1 round. So obviously against Aragorn, that is going to give his units 90% damage reduction while stunned. And then he's got 1 point into Dazzle, which is against enemy commander, 14.3% chance to inflict stun for 2 rounds. So, okay, that's not really going to be doing much. I doubt that is going to trigger with such a low percentage chance. Next, he's got Kingly Kin. First 2 round, elves have a 70% chance to evade all damage. And at max level, that gives elves defense plus 10. So this is probably Gil-Galad's one of his strongest titles, because without pursuit, yeah, you're not going to be hitting them at all on those first 2 rounds pretty much. Next, he's got 1 point into Well Prepared. Melee units, when hit by enemies, normal range within range, perform a counter attack that deals 3% damage. He has 7 points into Exorbitance, which gives all allied units damage plus 14%. Next, he has 6 out of 15 points in White Council. All allied units, first 3 instances of damage received, minus 7.6%, effect modified by your focus stat. Max level effect with damage reduction effect triggers an additional time, but he has not maxed that out, so that won't come into effect this battle. Next, he has 3 out of 7 points in High Alert. Allied units, focus, burn, and poison damage received, minus 21.4%. So that is obviously not going to come into effect either this battle, though it's obviously very good against Galadriels or especially against fighting evil. Finally, he's got 15 points into High King. Allied elves, damage received minus 15%, and it gives elves HP plus 3 at max level. Next, he's got Chaotic Retreat, which is enemy units defense minus 35. And he's finally got Elven Leader, which each round elves have a 25% chance to gain follow-up, which basically gives them a second attack. You know me and how I feel about skills like this. I tend to not use them because 25% chance is just so low, and I feel like those 7 points could be spent better elsewhere, but that's just me personally. Anyway, let's have a look at his units. So, He is running with 2,000 sentinels, well, heralds, what am I saying? And they have counterattack, obviously, which is at 8 out of 10. So when enemies hit by normal attacks within range, perform a counterattack that deals 27% damage. Normal attack damage is minus 10%. And then he's got 5,800 sentinels, and they have swiftness 9 out of 10, which is a 94% chance to evade attack 1. And then they have dispersion. Each round against all enemies deals an additional 12% damage. Doesn't have any skill there. Does he have one here? No. And I think I forgot to mention on Maestro's King of Men, he does have Guardians and he has shield training, and this means that they take plus 16% more damage, but all their allies take 16% less damage. And the reason for this is because you have one command, yeah, but as far as everyone can tell, if you have this one command, right, it gives you that minus 16% damage received for all your allied units, which in this case is the guards of the tower. And even after the guardians die, that effect still stays until the end of battle. So if that's the case, that is really nice, because you have one command of guardians and you have a permanent 16% damage reduction. Anyway, now that we had a look at their troops, their skills and their gear, let's have a look at the actual reports. So here is the overview of the report. And so for Aragorn, he has 705 men injured, he has 1,059 dead, he has 218,000 commander damage done, 37,000 soldier damage done, and he received 91,000 damage. Gil-Galad, he lost 3,000, well, he's got 3,000 soldiers injured and he's got 4,600 of them dead. The commander did 5,500 damage and his soldiers did 85k damage. He received 255,000 damage. Allied units, okay, Guardians took 4,600 damage. Guards of the Tower tanked over 86k damage and did 37k. Aragorn himself obviously did 218k. Gil-Galad, the archers or his sentinels did 66,000 damage and they took 177,000 damage. His heralds, they did 18,000 damage, they took 78k damage, and Gil-Galad himself did 5,500 damage. Now let's have a look at the details of the report. So we're going to go through this round by round. I may skip a bit of the preparation phase and stuff because that tends to be the same, it's just everything activating. So yeah, so let's have a look. It's okay, attack defense formation. Preparations begin. This is all the ring abilities as well as the commander's might, focus and speed bonuses. And this is also all the unit stuff. We're going to skip through this because we already saw all the different skills that are going to come into play. We went through the commander skills, we went through all the unit skills as well. So we're going to skip all that. I'm going to go straight to the battle. So round 1 begins. Okay, Gil-Galad granted pursuit, Herald granted pursuit. Basically, Gil-Galad and his entire army have pursuit, stun, and madness immunity. God of the Tower Divide and Conquer gives God and Towers 6% damage received, less 6% damage received. Okay, so Aragorn 2 King of Men activates his raid. So he activates his first skill because it has the rush ability on it. And Sentinel is granted avoidance by Sentinel Swiftness and by Gil-Galad's Kingly Kin, and avoids all attacks. That's kind of a waste of the Sentinel Swiftness, like there's no point really having it. I mean, I guess it does if Kingly Kin doesn't affect it, but either way, that uses up the Sentinel Swiftness over there. Sentinel avoids all attacks, Sentinel's avoidance preparing effect disappears, okay. Gil-Galad's Kingly Kin continues to affect Sentinel, Sentinel avoids all attacks. Okay, so now Aragorn 2 King of Men attacks. Herald was granted avoidance by Gil-Galad's Kingly Kin, Herald avoids all attacks. Okay, so far we have no damage done to the Gil-Galad army because of avoidance. Okay, so now Gil-Galad is attacking in pursuit. God of the Tower shielding gives the God of the Tower 20% physical damage received, less, or minus 20% physical damage received. God of the Tower suffers 1,400 physical damage, loses 27 units. Sentinel was granted follow-up by Gil-Galad's Elven Leader. Okay, so Elven Leader 25% chance came through. Sentinel attacks in Sentinel activates Dispersion. Okay, it attacks in pursuit. Guardian shielding gives Guardian minus 2% physical damage received. Dispersion causes 3,500 damage to Guardian, making them lose 77 units. Sentinel attacks in pursuit again. Guardian shielding continues to affect it. Dispersion activates again and does 2,000 damage to guards of the tower, making them lose 40 units. Now Sentinel attacks again. Sentinel attacks in pursuit. Guardians physical damage received continues to affect them. Guardians received 1000 damage, lost 23 units, and they're no longer in the fight. However, that minus 16% physical damage received to all allies effect is still in play until the end of the battle. Sentinel attacks in pursuit again. Guard of the Tower physical damage received continues to affect Guard of the Tower. Guard of the Tower suffered 15,000 damage and lost over nearly 300 units. That's obviously because there are like 5,800 Sentinels in that army. Gil-Galad's Elven Leader's dual blows do not affect Herald, so Herald is not going to be getting the double attack. So Herald attacks obviously in pursuit, and they deal 6,300 damage to Guards of the Tower. Guards of the Tower lose 123 units. Guard of the Tower attacks. Gil-Galad's Kingly Kin's Avoidance continues to affect Heralds. Herald avoids all attacks. Herald counterattacks in pursuit, and they deal 2,000 damage. Okay, so at the end of round 1, I think... Was any damage done? No. I don't think any damage was done by Aragorn or his army to Gil-Galad. Round 2, Gil-Galad continues to be affected by pursuit, by stun and madness immune. So that's great for him. And his entire army obviously also still have stun and madness immune. So let's have a look. Aragorn, King of Men, activates Precise Blow. So this is the skill that has pursuit attached to it. So Gil-Galad and his army are not going to be able to avoid this. So Aragorn 2, King of Men will grant pursuit when attacking. Aragorn 2, King of Men was granted pursuit by Aragorn 2, King of Men's Precise Blow. Okay, Gil-Galad's Kingly Avoidance did not affect Herald. Okay, so now he's going to attack in pursuit, and his weapons expertise skill gives him plus 50% damage dealt, so that's going to be a whole lot extra damage. White Council does give Herald minus 11.7% damage received, but let's see how much it does. King of Men Precise Blow causes 14,000 physical damage basically. It's just like 70 shy of that to Herald, making them lose 350 units. Okay, Aragorn activates Kingly Inspiration, it did not affect. Okay, Pursuit disappears. Aragorn 2, King of Men attacks. Gil-Galad's Kingly Kane's Avoidance did not affect Herald. Okay, so this is the first time we're seeing Kingly Kane's Avoidance not affect A units, I think. And Aragorn 2 is going to get his attack in. Weapons expertise continues to affect Aragorn, and that is going to lead to 5,600 damage being done to Heralds, making them lose 150 units. Okay, let's see. So Aragorn 2, King of Men triggers Kingly Inspiration, so that will give God of the Tower plus 1% damage dealt, and that is probably going to stack every round. Gil-Galad attacks in pursuit. God of the Tower gets minus 20% physical damage received. They suffer 1,000 damage and lose 20 units. Okay, Gil-Galad's dual blows did not affect Sentinel, so remember that 7 points is only activated once so far. Sentinel activates Dispersion and they attack in pursuit. That gives 2,500 physical damage to the Guards of the Tower, making them lose basically 50 units. Sentinel attacks a second time because this is the actual attack, not their effect that's activating. So the actual attack will deal 20,000 damage and Guard of the Tower lose 369 units. Okay, dual blows do not affect Herald. Herald attacks in pursuit. They do 3,500 damage to the Guards of the Tower. God of the Tower attacks. Kingly Kin activates. Herald avoids all attack. Herald counterattacks. God of the Tower do get their minus 20% physical damage received, and they receive 1,000 damage and lose 20 units. Now we reach round 3. So while the army still does have Pursuit, Madness, Stun Immune, and all that, they no longer have Avoidance, okay? So that means Aragorn is going to start hitting hard, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So Aragorn 2 activates Anduril, okay? Wait, Kingly's Kin Avoidance continues to affect? Oh yes, I remember there was something said about this where it will only, the avoidance only stops affecting them once the unit acts or something like that. So I guess they gonna get to avoid Anduril's activation as well. So that's a lot of damage the Herald is avoiding and Sentinel are avoiding. So they avoid Anduril. Aragorn attacks normally, Sentinel avoids all attacks, so that's still no damage done over there. Gil-Galad activates Icicle, so that should stun then, I believe. That's the God of the Tower did not receive their physical damage reduction. Icicle causes 300 physical damage, making them lose 6 units. Okay, God of the Tower is affected by stun. So now they're stunned, and I believe now they'll receive 90% less damage while they're stunned. Gil-Galad attacks in pursuit. God of the Tower receives 20% less physical damage. They suffer 500 damage and lose 10 units only. Gil-Galad's Elven Leader's dual blows did not affect Sentinel. Well, this is why I really don't think skills like that are worth it. I mean, I guess people obviously feel it is and so many of them use it. It's just me that I don't like to use that skill. Unless the follow-up chance is like a 50%, I probably wouldn't use it. Anyway, Sentinel activates Dispersion. Dispersion does 500% physical damage. And I think the reason why, because it did like what, 2000 or something the last time. Let's just have a look at the last Dispersion attack, how much that did. If we can find Sentinel attacking. Yeah, Dispersion caused 2,500 damage last time. The reason it's only causing 500 damage now is because of that 90% damage reduction that Aragorn's units get while they're affected by stun or madness. So yeah, 500 damage there, they lose 9 units. And now after their attack, now they lose their avoidance. Okay, so Sentinel finally loses its avoidance from Kingly Kin. Sentinel attacks again in pursuit. This is its normal attack. God of the Towers receive 20% physical damage less. Sorry about that, guys. I haven't been feeling the best today, but yeah, God of the Towers suffer 3000 physical damage and they lose 56 units. Gil-Galad's Elven Leader's dual blows still do not affect heralds, so they've activated one time in 3 rounds, I believe. Herald attacks, God of the Tower shielding did not affect them. God of the Tower received 800 physical damage only. Okay. And God of the Tower... Wait, actually, Sentinel attacks in pursuit, right? Yeah, okay, so remember, Sentinel was dealing like 20,000 damage a hit, but because of the 90% reduction, the God of the Towers only took 3,000 damage that round. That kind of flew over my head over there. So yeah, God of the Towers receive 800 damage from Heralds. Herald's avoidance effect disappears. So basically, in round 3, Gil-Galad's avoidance still affects your units until they actually act. If they don't act and the enemy attacks first, your units are still going to have your avoidance. So yeah, that is something to remember. Round 4 begins, okay? This is the last round of Stun and Madness Immune. And Pursuit, though obviously... Oh no, actually Pursuit has all disappeared. Stun and Madness Immune is still there, though it's not helpful at all because there's no Stun or Madness abilities on Aragorn's side. Aragorn activates Precise Blow. Okay, that will grant Pursuit when attacking. We don't actually need that anymore though, so whatever. Aragorn attacks in Pursuit. Weapons Expertise did not affect Aragorn, so he doesn't get that 50% bonus damage. White Council does affect Sentinel and give them minus 11.7% damage received. And Precise Blow causes 8,000 damage to Sentinel, making them lose 258 units. Then that activates Kingly Inspiration. That gives God of the Tower plus 2% damage dealt, so that's going to be +1, +2, +3 until the end of the battle. So Aragorn 2 King of Men Pursuit effect disappears, okay. Activates Raid. This time it's actually going to hit and it's going to do 7,000 damage to Sentinels, making them lose 222 units. That activates Kingly Inspiration. That's going to give God of the Towers plus 3% damage dealt. Let's see, Weapons Expertise did not affect Aragorn. He attacks though. White Council does continue to affect Sentinel. That's 7,000 damage dealt. Another 222 units lost from the Sentinels. Okay, that triggers Kingly Inspiration. That's 4% damage dealt. Bonus to Gods of the Tower. Okay. Aragorn 2 King of Men attacks. Weapon Expertise gives Aragorn that 50% bonus damage, and that is going to deal 5,500 damage to Heralds, making them lose 140 units. That's going to activate Kingly Inspiration yet again and give God of the Tower plus 5% damage dealt. Gil-Galad activates Dazzle. Dazzle's stun does not affect Aragorn 2 King of Men. Okay, so that did not stun him. Gil-Galad attacks. God of the Tower God of the Tower shielding gives God of the Tower minus 20% physical damage received. So God of the Tower are going to only take 500 physical damage. Sentinel activates Dispersion, does 500 damage to Gods of the Tower. Sentinel attacks. God of the Towers gets minus 20% physical damage received. God of the Tower only received 2,600 damage. Herald attacks and they deal 800 damage to Gods of the Tower. This is like absolutely no damage. But yeah, God of the Tower attacks. They deal 6,000 physical damage to Heralds, making them lose 155 units. Let's see. God of the Tower suffered a little bit of damage from the counter attack, but not much. Now we go into round 5. God of the Tower's damage received refresh has refreshed. God of the Tower Divide and Conquer gives God of the Tower minus 30% damage received. Aragorn 2 King of Men Return of the King gives Aragorn, King of Men, plus 70% damage dealt. So now that we're on round 5 and above, Aragorn is going to be dealing 70% more damage than he did in the past 4 rounds because of Return of the King. So Aragorn, King of Men, attacks, weapon expertise did not affect him, okay? So he does have that 70% bonus damage from Return of the King, but he doesn't have the 50% from weapon expertise stacked on top. That still does 7,600 damage to heralds, and activates Kingly Inspiration, which gives Guards of the Tower plus 6% damage dealt. Gil-Galad attacks, God of the Tower affected by their physical damage reduction, receive 500 damage. Dual blows do not affect Sentinel yet again. Sentinel activates Dispersion. Dispersion does 2,000 damage. Sentinel attacks, that does 8,000 damage. Okay, let's go down. Dual blows do not affect Herald. So far, dual blows have affected his army 1 time. So 1 time, that's all it's affected. That's 7 points for 1 activation so far in 6 rounds. Herald's attack, 2,500 damage done to Guards of the Tower. The Guards of the Tower attack, they deal 5,700 damage. Heralds lose 150 units. They do counterattack and do 600 damage, which makes God of the Tower lose 13 units. So far, I mean, we're at round 6, and I feel like Elven Leader has been a complete waste of time. Chaotic Retreat obviously is fine, High King is fine, White Council is fine, High Alert we don't really need in this battle, but obviously the Gil-Galad is ready to fight Galadriels and stuff especially. Kingly Kin is over, well prepared, is doing its little bit of damage, Exorbitance is always there. Icicle just gave the army a whole lot of damage reduction, so because of Aragorn's skill, and Dazzle has not affected them yet. Anyway, let's go back to the report. Scroll down to round 6, I believe that we were on. Yep. Let's go down to round 6 again. If we can find round 6 anywhere. Is this round 5? No, round 5. There is round 6. Okay. So. Oh, were we on round 5? Oh, yeah, we were on round 5 actually. So, Herald attacks. God of the Tower attack. Okay, yeah, we finished round 6. Okay. So round 6, Aragorn 2, Return of the King continues to affect Aragorn, obviously. Aragorn activates Anduril. King of Men, weapons expertise gives him plus 50% damage dealt. And this is when he becomes extremely dangerous. From round 5 onwards, he's dealing so much of damage, it's absolutely crazy, which is why he has Guards of the Tower just stacked on him, because they need to survive long enough to get him up to these higher rounds. He obviously does good damage early on, but he just does that much more at this point, because he's getting plus 50% damage from weapons expertise, he's getting plus 70% damage from Return of the King. That's already 120% damage on top of whatever his normal damage is. And Jurul, I think, does 300% damage, right? So that's like what, 400 and something percent if it stacks like that. Probably doesn't, because it's probably multiplicative rather than additive, so whatever. But anyway, Anduril causes 30% physical, 30,000 physical damage to heralds. So that's 30,000 damage, makes them lose 733 units. There's only 127 left. King Inspiration did not affect Aragorn 2, King of Men this time, okay. Aragorn 2, weapons expertise continues to affect him. Anduril causes another 31,000 damage to Sentinels, because remember it targets 2 targets, so that is basically about 60,000 damage done that round. That makes the Sentinels lose over 1,000 units, which leaves them with 4,000 left. Kingly Inspiration is triggered, and that gives Guards of the Towers plus 7% damage dealt. Aragorn activates Precise Blow. Okay, Pursuit, we don't really need that at this point, but still, it's nice to have, I guess. Weapons Expertise continues to affect him, so that's going to still give him that 50% from that. And Precise Blow does 5,000 damage to Heralds, making them lose 127 units. That is the Heralds out of the battle. All that's left are these Sentinels. Kingly Inspiration activates, Guards of the Tower plus 8%. Herald can no longer fight, yep. Aragorn 2 attacks, weapons expertise did not affect him this time. He still does nearly 9,000 damage and makes the Sentinel lose just under 300 units. The Kingly Inspiration activates, Guards of the Tower get plus 9% damage dealt. Gil-Galad activates Icicle, okay, there we go. Guards of the Tower is affected by stun, and once again, this is going to give the Guards of the Tower minus 90% damage received while affected by stun. So, Gil-Galad attacks, he does 300 damage, they lose 7 units. Sentinel activates Dispersion, only 380 damage, they lose 7 units. Sentinel attacks, only 2,500 damage, or 2,250 damage nearly, they lose 40 units. Okay, let's go. The God of Tower stun cannot act, that's fine. Round 7 begins. And Aragorn 2 gets weapon expertise again, that's plus 50% damage. He activates Raid. Raid causes 25,000 damage to Sentinels. King Inspiration activates, plus 10% damage for Guards of the Tower. Weapon expertise continues to affect King of Men. He activates Raid, that's 25,000 damage, making them lose 900 units. So that's 819, 800, that's 1,600 units lost already. King Inspiration activates, Guards of the Tower get plus 11% damage dealt. Aragorn does his normal attack, that is 9,000 damage, that is 283 units lost, there's 1,800 Sentinels left. Gil-Galad attacks, 270 damage, so yep, that's basically doing nothing. That stun is kind of ruining Gil, because there's so much damage that could have been done by the Sentinels and the Heralds early on, especially when it activated for the first time, but because of Icicle there and the damage reduction, it's just not good in this matchup. Obviously in another matchup where it's like, you know, stunning a stack of units, that's going to be great, you know, they won't be able to act, there's no damage coming out from them, and that is great. Anyway, Sentinel activates Dispersion, that is 225% physical damage, lose 4 units. Sentinel attacks, they do 1,300 damage, lose 25 units. Guards of the Tower are still sitting pretty at about 6,300 men remaining. Guard of the Tower attacks, Sentinel receive 8,000 damage, that is 269 units. Round 8, Aragorn activates Precise Blow. Weapons expertise did not affect him, that is still 21,000 damage. Sentinel loses 686 units, that leaves them with just under 1,000 left. King Inspiration activates, that's 12% extra damage. He attacks, weapon expertise did not affect, so normal attack does 8,700 damage, that's 282 lost, that's only about 628 remaining. Gil-Galad activates Dazzle, and this time that 14.3% chance actually came into effect. Okay, Aragorn, King of Men, is stunned. Okay, so he can't move now, he's stunned, he can't attack. Gil-Galad attacks, that's 200 damage, 3 units lost. Sentinel activates Dispersion, 300 damage, 7 units lost. Sentinel does normal attack, Guards of the Tower, 20% less damage. Guards of the Tower, 1,500 damage received, they lose 30 units. Guard of the Tower attacks and deal 8,000 damage. Sentinel lose 269 units, they have just under 400 left. Round 9, Aragorn is stunned and cannot act, so that is saving an absolute ton of damage. That's pretty funny that Dazzle actually affected Aragorn. That 14.3% chance actually came into effect, while I saw the 25% chance that the units are meant to get from follow-up, like that activated one time and that was it. Anyway, Gil-Galad activates Icicle. Guards of the Towers are stunned. Okay, that's 90% less damage to them. Gil-Galad attacks, 155 damage. Sentinel activates Dispersion. That's 50 damage and they lose 1 guy. Okay, Sentinel attacks, 300 damage, they lose 5 units. Aragorn and Guards of the Tower, neither of them attack that round because they're both stunned, so yeah. Round 10 begins. Aragorn 2 is still stunned. Okay, so damn, that... Wait, I just want to... Okay, actually, let's just finish this report and then I want to just look at how long that is meant to affect them. Gil-Galad attacks, does 155 damage, they lose 3 units. Sentinel activates Dispersion and Sentinel's normal attack together do 350 damage, and Guards of the Tower lose 7 men. Guard of the Tower attack, they deal 8,600 damage, there's 82 Sentinels remaining, and that is when the battle results in a draw. Now, Dazzle, okay, yeah, it's for 2 rounds, so damn, that 14.3% chance came in clutch over there. That was pretty cool. But obviously, as you can see, like, Gil-Galad was not, like, he's a really great commander, obviously, but the issue here was, obviously, he's points in high alert are doing nothing for him, because you know, that's helpful if he's fighting a Galadriel and Arwen, Gandalf, you know, anyone who does focus damage, or if he's fighting evil with all their burn and their poison. So you're not as effective. Icicle, unfortunately, was a, you know, it kind of screwed Gil-Galad and his army over as well, because normally stunning is great, but because of this one skill over here, wait, which one is it? Is it this one? No. This one? No. There's this one. Because of King of Men, well... Oh wait, actually, this is only the first 5 rounds. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, okay, max level affected, it persists the entire battle. So because of King of Men, every time Gil-Galad stunned the army with Icicle, it just made them take 90% less damage, so... Still, that was a pretty great battle to see, because obviously both commanders are absolutely stacked gear wise, you know. Just look at Maestro's Aragorn 2 King of Men and Lobanon's Gil-Galad. Both are amazing commanders. This was an unfavorable matchup for Gil-Galad, plus he was 2 levels lower. Though I still think Albanita is just a waste of time. That was 7 skill points in there that activated one time. One time. That's all I saw it activate. If I missed a second activation or something, well, maybe I did, but I only saw it activate one time. If you guys did enjoy this video, I know it was a longer one, and I went through the whole report. I went through the commander skills, gear, unit abilities, all of that. Then let me know down below in the comment section if you guys did enjoy this. If you guys would like to see me do some more report, deep analysis of army reports and stuff like that, let me know. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.